Hey guys, I'm starting my next vlog. Currently 5:39 p.m. and I'm gonna be drawing for bed, so bye. What's up? Got back from dance. I can't really breathe all that well right now. I don't know why. But I also realized because I'm fat. So it's really frustrating. Anyway, we need to get a shower from my cousin to get out so I can shower. Because I have a really important appointment in the morning that I will probably not vlog at the hospital, so I'm just letting you know now. See you in the morning. Good night. Hey guys, new vlog of my channel. Go and check it out. I'm tired.
Whatever you can. Of course, it's Hurricane Michael. You can text the word Michael to 90999 to make a $10 donation to help out the victims of Hurricane Michael. Ron, did you typically have a lot of worries during hurricane season when you were promoting in Pensacola?
Well, you never really think about hurricanes kind of till they come, you know. I mean, that particular part of the Gulf Coast is hurricane prone. It's been that way for many years. You can go back to Camille that hit Mississippi, a little west of that area, that was just second most powerful hurricane I was reading the other day that ever hit America. And then Katrina in New Orleans. I mean, that Gulf Coast, once they get into the Gulf of Mexico, you can expect you have a potential problem. And I watched Katrina very carefully into Florida and back into the Gulf. And then I remember the night before it was going to get into New Orleans, I went to sleep and I watching the report, and it was a Category 2. And there's a certain spot in the Gulf of Mexico in the center area that I call it the deadly zone. Katrina went through that deadly zone, and I woke up the next morning, turned on my TV to Katrina, and it was a 5. I was like, wow, the whole Gulf of Mexico was a hurricane. I'd never seen a satellite shot like that. And I saw this one start in the Caribbean down there around Cozumel. Not the Caribbean, but Cozumel, just the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico. And I was telling a couple of people that I knew that, you know, this hurricane looks like to me it's going to go that warm water that was 4 or 5 degrees warmer than the rest of the Gulf of Mexico. And it was just a disaster in the making, in my opinion. You know, I feel so sorry for those people.
When you look at some of the towns that were seen on the news the last couple of days.
Well, I do remember Panama City, primarily in spring break time of year. People came from Atlanta and all northern parts of Alabama, all over the South basically. But that was such a vibrant place and a fun place to be, and everybody enjoying themselves, and beautiful, like I said, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. They got that white sand and it's all soft, and it's a great place to live and a great place to take a vacation. And it was in an old, I think it had been a skating rink, and they had modified the building and changed it into a wrestling arena. It didn't hold a whole lot of people, and we finally got to where we didn't go there very often.
And I went, Dusty's booking sucks. And he went, yeah, I know. And he kind of looked down. And he goes, man, this is terrible. And I went, yeah. I said, you know, well, it is what it is. He shook his head and went right back into Ric Flair. That's the only time that guy ever broke character, because it was kind of an assault on his, you know, on his deal, because he was the nature boy. He sold out everything. He was the greatest, you know. So, you know, and people make a big deal, say, oh, that Starcade stuff, that's a bunch of bullshit. No, I'm telling you, people were dedicated to that shit. People love that shit. People went to that thing. They supported that thing. That was our thing. That was Greensboro's crown jewel, was the Starcade. And when they took that shit, they put half of it in Atlanta. The crowd fell to about maybe 9,000 people, maybe, you know, and we were watching the main events on a TV screen. It was incredible. And I'm going to tell you a story. we're sitting, we started it. This is our deal, and they totally screwed it up. So, but there's a lot of things that were wrong with it. But I did have a list. I did have a list for you today. Did have you a list. People like lists. Okay. So people are saying, okay, John, you've been watching wrestling for 50 years. You've seen everybody, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you. First time ever, John's going to do a list on the top 5 tag teams of all time.
Now, these aren't just tag teams you've seen live. These are tag teams you've seen on TV as well?
All of them are live except one.
Okay.
Okay? Now, my number 1 is kind of a cheat because it could be number 1 or it could be number 2. It's like 1A and 1A for me. But the greatest tag team I ever saw was Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Those two guys had a chemistry that I was basically second to none. And they were the perfect pairing. They could talk and they could wrestle their ass off. And one of the great...
You need to do something with your hair, I think.
Hi guys! Yes, my room got redone,
Killing WWE. For a while, I was one of those people too.
Yeah.
But now that it's over, I actually find a lot of people asking that they come back.
Is over there
As
now.
crazy as it sounds, I might actually be
And I love my nails.
Today's WWE
Yeah, I
has
can't
a lot
stop
of the
showing
same
off.
problems that were
So I'm gonna
persistent
eat
during the split, only now everything is
and
amplified due to the singular brand. There are
have a
still
nap
tons of
maybe if I have time,
underutilized,
and then
underused
I
talent
have
on Raw
to
and SmackDown. Now that
change
everything's
because
merged, the roster
apparently
hasn't gotten any
this isn't
smaller, and there are
appropriate
just
to
as
help
many
out
men and
school.
women who are
So,
not being
you know,
used well on TV. I'm not saying everyone
I'm
needs
not
to be
really
pushed
happy
to the
with
moon
that,
to win a
but whatever.
championship, but at least be
I'm
presented
obviously
in
over
such a
it.
way
So.
that I make it
Back up here. Book of the week. Classic Arena
Drop it?
programs.
What kind of producer?
I put it down. It's a heavy book. It's a big, thick book. When you buy this book from Scott
It
Teal,
is
you're getting
full
good
of
money.
knowledge.
And George Goulas.
That true.
Yes. I'm looking at the cover's cool because the cover of it actually has like a bunch of mini photos of every, or at least a lot of the covers of the programs. Spotlight on Ray Candy, Ricky Fields, a profile. The man they call the Giant, Ken Lucas, sleeper expert. Russia enters the race for the crown. Like,
Some would say George Goulas was a sleeper expert because he put people to sleep.
Spotlight on George Goulas, and of course Goulas chases Royal. I guess he was going after Nelson Royal for a little while. But this is really cool, and again, check it out. And if you're interested in the history of Nashville wrestling, the history of wrestling in the Nicholas territory that wasn't Memphis. Memphis was just a part of the territory. This was the other part of the territory. Pod Amazon. By using that link, you spend no more money than you would normally spend by going to Amazon.com. You do nothing different other than putting in this stupid little link that I gave you into your search bar, and you press enter. And then you go there, and anything you add to your cart, we get a little bit of credit and love from the people at Amazon. It's a nice way to support the show without really having to do anything special, and we don't have to put commercials or anything in this part of the show. It's wonderful. It's terrific. Once again, tinyurl.com/superpod Amazon. Give it to your girlfriend, your mistress, whoever it may be. I'm not talking to you, Jeff.
What about the side piece? Can you give it to the side piece?
Well, I think that covers it, doesn't it? Girlfriend and mistress.
I think you got wife, girlfriend, mistress, and side piece.
What's the difference between mistress and side piece?
Well, the mistress you might have to take out occasionally. The side piece is just a touch and go, hit and miss, that kind of thing.
No,
Shit, these people that listen to podcasts, they spend money.
And then your wife's going to go, is this your side piece? Who's Crowbar Press? I see on your credit card bill.
And then you'll go, no, honey, it's not the side. It's the mistress. It's not the side piece.
Well, anyway, once again, tinyurl.com/superpod, Amazon. Lots of other shows have links they want you to use. Lots of other shows say, oh, please help us, help us, help us. But are they any good? Or
No.
do they suck?
They suck.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Jeff, you may have to do this every week. This is fun.
Fuck those guys.
No, not yet. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I jumped in early.
You did. But, yeah, when it comes down to it, you have to say, who do I want to support? The shows that suck or the shows that deliver quality? Except for this segment. And I think when you think about it, the answer will be clear.
Hi guys, what's up? I'm fixing this currently because it's really freaking crooked and it's driving me insane. But anyway, I'm home, chilling currently in my PJs. I literally just walked in the door about 5 minutes ago. So yeah, I will see you in my next vlog. Bye!